Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I wanted to rage. I wanted to come on here and complain about how ignorant people are and how stupid they are for saying dumb shit and like giving really terrible advice. And then I listened to a podcast by Spencer Broussard about dealing with triggers, and I feel a little bit attacked. I was about to set up my equipment and I was like, I'm gonna listen to a podcast while I set up my stuff. I'm gonna record a video, complain about all these dumb things that people say. And then I listened to her podcast and yeah, well, okay. So the podcast is called Fertile Ground, and I was listening to episode 43 called How to Respond to Triggers, and that's on Apple. I don't have an Apple, so I just play it from you can just pull up the podcast like website and it works. You don't have to have an iPhone to listen to Apple Podcasts. Anyways, so the whole premise of her podcast, episode 43, I apologize, my heat just kicked on. So make a weird noise. Anyways, episode 43, the whole premise of it is that triggers, we can change our mindset and how we react to triggers. And it happens a lot in trying to conceive. One of the biggest ones that I've dealt with is just relax, and it just sets me off. Like, I get furious when somebody tells me to just relax or to stop trying. I get pissed about it. Like, I immediately go into defense mode. Like, you are ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about. And the funny thing is that they really don't know, and I'm mad about it. Like, they don't know what infertility is or what it's like to go through infertility, and I'm mad about it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't want anybody else to have to go through infertility, and yet here I am being pissed that they don't know about infertility or what it's like to go through it or how triggering it is. And I'm understanding now. Like, Spencer's podcast really just like light bulb. I don't know, I've never actually like rationally sat down and thought about it. I've just been pissed. I'm like, well, they should know. Well, how are they gonna know? Like, I don't want them to know. Infertility is fucking terrible, and I don't want them to have to go through that to know why it's triggering. And I need to work on this, you guys. Like, this is gonna be a process for me to actually like change my mindset when people tell me things that normally would make me angry. And to be able to have grace and to realize, like she said in the podcast, it's not about me. They're not making a comment about me. They're just trying to help, or they have some personal or experience with other people who've been through it, and they don't know. Like, they don't know what to say, and that's okay. Like, not everybody has to have the perfect thing to say every single day or every single conversation. Like, we're human. We all make mistakes, and yeah. Instead of ranting about what you shouldn't say, I'm going to very calmly explain what you shouldn't say and why you shouldn't say it. Because, I mean, if you don't know, then you don't know, and I'm going to explain it to you so that you can maybe understand a little bit. So I'm going to pull it up on my phone, and I'm not going to be angry this time. I'm just going to calmly go through these and explain why it's a big deal and why you shouldn't say these things to somebody who's going through infertility. Because maybe you don't know, and maybe you've said these things. I've said these things, and I still get so mad when people say them to me, and I have no right to do that. I really don't. So, let's begin. First of all, like I said earlier, just relax can be really triggering. If you're going through infertility treatments and the infertility process, it's really, really hard to just relax. We try to practice, or at least I shouldn't generalize. I try to practice self-care, especially for my mental health, because the process of going through infertility can actually be described as a trauma. And if you haven't been through it, you probably think that sounds weird, and you probably think it's a little dramatic, but it can be extremely traumatic to go through infertility month after month after month. I mean, we're talking working on not getting your hopes up, and then getting your hopes up anyways, and then having that dream just crushed every single month. And it's hard, guys. It is so hard. So telling somebody to just relax is maybe not the best thing to do. Maybe instead look at them and say, I'm sorry, that sounds really hard. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you, and mean it. Don't just say, let me know if there's anything I can do for you, and then do nothing. Mean it. Offer them to bring them a coffee. Offer to, I don't know, buy them a bath bomb or something. But just be kind, be gentle, because we're all going through something, and infertility is a hard something to go through. Here's other things that go along with just relax is don't stress about it. Y'all, we are trying so hard not to stress about it. And again, I generalize. I'm sorry. I should keep this specific to me because I can't speak for everybody going through TTC, but I'm trying so hard not to stress. And between normal life stressors and infertility, it's incredibly hard to not stress about it. So telling me not to stress about it doesn't help. It just makes me stress more about the fact that I'm still stressing about it. So don't say that. Also, personally, I don't want to hear stories about the people that you know that stopped trying and then they got pregnant. And I also don't need your opinions about my infertility treatments. Unless you are a fertility specialist, you really don't have the answers. And I don't need to be fixed. And I'm not looking for you to fix me or to give me advice. I just need somebody to be there for me. And somebody that's willing to listen and tell me that, you know, wow, that really sucks. But things are going to get better, or things could get better. Something else that is really annoying that you probably shouldn't tell people is to just adopt. There's nothing just about adoption. Adoption is for incredibly brave, very big-hearted, kind, incredible, amazing people. Adoption is not for everybody, and it's not a last resort. Adoption is something that you have to be completely open to, and you need to use your full heart for adoption. So there's nothing just about adopting. It costs a ton of money. It's an incredibly long process, and I just don't think it's fair to say to just adopt. It's just is a terrible word when it comes to infertility. Just don't. See, I'm getting triggered a little bit, and I'm trying really hard not to because, again, if you haven't been through it, you wouldn't really understand. So I'm trying to be understanding. Try not to get triggered. Okay, let's see. Don't give up, it will happen, or it will all be worth it in the end. Here's the reason you shouldn't tell people it will all be worth it in the end, because unless you can see into the future and you know it's going to be worth it in the end, you probably shouldn't be saying that. Because you don't know that it's going to be worth it. You don't know that they're going to end up with a child, or if they're going to end up childless. You don't know. So telling somebody that it's all going to be worth it or that it's all going to work out, I mean, yeah, eventually, someday it's going to be okay, whether or not you end up having children or you don't end up having children. Someday you are going to be okay. But telling somebody that all of the shots and all of the treatments and all of the paperwork and the heartache and the pain is going to be worth it because they're going to have a baby, it's not really fair. Along the same lines of that is this like false positivity, positive vibes only, like only be happy. We're allowed to feel more than one feeling at a time. My cat is crazy. And I think it's really important to allow yourself and to allow other people to feel more than one emotion at one time. So telling somebody positive vibes only, not fair. Because when you wreck your car or you end up having to have surgery or somebody steals your wallet or something, I'm not going to look at you and tell you to have positive vibes only. I'm going to say, man, that's really shitty. I'm so sorry. So why can't we do that about infertility also? It's the same concept, you know? We just need to keep on acknowledging people's pain and acknowledging that people are going through things that deserve to be felt and to deserve the proper respect. That life sucks and it's shitty. I don't know, just my opinion. Here is one thing that really super triggers me. And this statement is made completely out of ignorance. there's nothing else. Like, it's just ignorance. It's not even advice. It's just something horrible to say to somebody that you know is going through infertility. So you probably shouldn't say it. But trying is the best part. Listen, until you have stabbed yourself in the stomach or had a catheter shoved up into your hoo-ha to try and have a baby, you don't get to tell me that trying is the best part. Because for a lot of people going through infertility, we're not even having sex to have kids. We're going to a doctor's office, we're jerking off into cups, and then having artificial things put inside of us to have a baby. So I don't know about you, but that's not really the best part. So I tried really hard not to get super triggered about these because I literally could have ranted for days. If I hadn't listened to that podcast before doing this, it would have been a much different video. But anyways, I digress. Those are things that maybe you should consider not saying to somebody going through infertility, but I'm glad I listened to that podcast before I did this video. I was able to kind of clear my mind a little bit and to see it from a different perspective and to know that people aren't saying things to be mean to me, anyways, it's just a place of ignorance and them not knowing, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing about infertility or not knowing what to say. So I'm kind of glad I listened to that podcast. And if you're going through infertility and these things trigger you, I would suggest listening to this podcast with an open mind, because when she started talking, I was definitely like, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm allowed to be triggered. I'm allowed to feel those things. And then as she continued talking, she said, yeah, you're allowed to feel those things. And then explained why it's better for you to change your mindset. You're not doing it for other people. You're not doing it so that you're not mad at people. You're doing it so that you don't have to deal with the anger or being in a triggered state for the rest of the day or even the week. It's all about for you. It helps you calm down and it helps you be happier and it helps you live your life better. Although sometimes it does feel good to be angry. So that is my spiel on infertility and triggers. My spiel? Is that spiel? Anyways, guys, that was my video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I did this one because it was on my brain and I felt like it needed to be said, so I said it. And I'm done, and I didn't rage out, which is pretty impressive because normally when I talk about these things, I do. So that's about all I have for today. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you are watching these videos, please subscribe. I'm a brand new channel. I can't even have my own link yet because there's 2 people subscribed right now. So if you watch this and you enjoyed it and you'd like to follow along as we start our IVF journey from the very beginning, please hit that subscribe button or give me a like. We have a consultation actually scheduled, so we are really actually about to start this process of IVF in January 2020, and I'm so excited. Hopefully, fingers crossed, 2020 is the year for a baby. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Talk to you guys next time. I'm trying so hard. Excuse you, tiny cat, that's mine. Betty, what are you doing? Spiel? Good Lord. I don't know what she's doing, but she's crazy. Betty, come here. Hello, baby. Why don't you say hi again? Why are you being so crazy during my video? I should have locked you out. If I lock these cats out of the room, they will scratch at the door and meow. So I'm not really sure what's worse, them playing and making noise while I'm videotaping or scratching at I don't know. Now there's hair everywhere. This is Mel Mills. I know you guys met Betty in the last video. This is my girl. She is my homie. Doesn't act like it right now, but she is my baby.